Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, and what a pleasure it is to be here for the 100th anniversary
Of the Cambridge Narwhals. You join us here, 2026, for the Varsity Match between the Cambridge Narwhals and the Oxford Vikings, as is tradition, just about to get underway now. I will have a full roster readout for you imminently as we just get the ball rolling. And we're off. Face-off already won by the Oxford Vikings, and it's a tumble for Henry Gallen. As we just try and dig up our roster list here. We're expecting this year a strong contest already. Andrew Terentchev streaking in solo, but he's dispossessed down in the corner by Harvey Wilson, both long-time campaigners, and there will be plenty to be said about the long-standing campaigners across this contest. We have some storied faces in the building this evening with us. Already now, Dan Ulick the younger, captaining the Oxford Vikings this year, following in the footsteps of Jakob Ulick, his older brother, who unfortunately wasn't able to make it today. So far, nothing doing. Narwhals now back on the offensive, and it's Ryan McGinley, hat-trick goal scorer in the imperious 2024 victory that the Narwhals stamped over the Oxford Vikings. Now, just a quick bit of match history for those following along at home. For around 10 years, between 2014 and 2023, 2013 even, the Narwhals had an unbeaten streak in this particular fixture. That was put to an end in 2023 by the Oxford Vikings. Then, with the passing of Ray Pallister in 2024, the Narwhals struck back with a vengeance, marking an incredible victory. As now Jakob Briol, moving into the zone, drops back for Ratko Jurasko, the team's captain, stepping up and wearing the C today. So then 2025 went the way of the Vikings at home, and now the Narwhals will be wanting that trophy back. It's sitting in the commentary box with us as we speak, and they will be looking for it. Arm up from Joshua Ho. We haven't spoken about just yet. The goalie looking for the icing call, but rest are happy that the red line was gained. And we will come on to the goalie matchup in just a little while. But Briol working down low, getting harried there by what looks to be Julius Wiseman, an unknown quantity coming into this game for us. No stats on record in the university games. As Ho takes a shot on net, takes a couple. Droppers one away, and it's Jurasko prowling around the far post, unable to beat those lovely vintage leather pads just to get going. And speaking of goalies then, Josh Ho, been around the Oxford University setup for quite some time now. I remember he must have been there when I arrived in 2019, so some fair old miles on him. Lifetime, 1,752 minutes is now a breakaway attempt coming back the other way. Shot fired away, but was turned by Mikisa. That's Tim Donison wearing number 8, one of our wily old campaigners, and I think the man with the most Oxford games, possibly leading all-time university ice hockey appearances. So Tim's been around the block a fair while, and he'll be looking to keep a hold of that trophy from last year. Ulick winds up. So Rista doesn't quite trickle through, as that's full up Isles. Ilez comes able to corral that one. Get a stick down. Harvey Wilson from the point. We've seen this man work the blue line before. Now McGlynn steps in. Another old man McGlynn. The Yeti to those who are paying attention to Christmas retail adverts of times gone by. But McGlynn again, one of Oxford's oldest and wisest players here. And the Vikings still holding the zone, much more than perhaps we gave them credit for, but now break coming the other way. It is that man, Isles, trying to slide across, but can't quite find the number 9 of Dan McConnell. As a chance for the Vikings to breathe. The Narwhals, we've seen how deadly they can be on the rush in previous years. Indeed, it's the puck that moves fast rather than the feet necessarily for them. So we will be looking for those long stretch outlet passes, their signature on the break. And Oxford trying to get something set up. That's Master Jack Haynes wearing number 24. Trying to give Lucas Husarczyk some grief, but no, I think Lucas quite happy to handle himself there now. Martin Bureau wearing number 22. Competing in at the blue line. It's now Terentchev versus Wiseman. Terentchev seems to come off the better of the scuffle. Tries to work it in, but it's a blind drop pass. Can't quite connect up. The ensuing attacker there. Husarczyk. Once again, Terentchev. Off to Norgren. Bias Norgren feeds McGinley. McGinley with an absolute rocket of a shot that he is no stranger to deploying. Now just caught in the corner. Narwhals still with possession as the first 4.5 minutes have ticked on by. McGinley with time, with space. That one's going to get sent wide. Tipped off the stick, does not break out of the netting. This one's still in low, but that one safely disposed of by Tate Levesque wearing number 6. Now the Narwhals with a chance to wind up their offence. Forecheck is in already from Henry Gallen. So just check our stats here. It is that man, Henry Gallen, the top points per game for Oxford all season. Winding in is Jakob Bryle. We're expecting him to be one of the top threats on this Narwhals team, but Ho sticks the pads down, makes the stop. So far, so good. Both teams trading blows, but I think it's fair to say the Narwhals have had some of the more convincing shot attempts so far. Vikings, though, already with some good zone pressure, and that's Norbert Roswoda. Again, hassled by Gallen, but Gallen not able to do much with it. McGlynn behind the net, looking for the outlet pass. Doesn't manage to find Charlie Clark. But no matter. Now, Narwhals, Orlos and Roswoda back and forth. It would have been a really nice setup pass, but unfortunately, no dice there, as that was Jakub Pukalski. And Pukalski stick handling in a phone booth there, looking to find the outlet option across the ice. Does, and there's the dump in. That is Orlos, down low. Tim Donison trying to clear the zone. Might have taken a slight trip there from Roswoda. Not Roswoda, in fact. I think that's Ratko Jurasko, team captain, tending to see his friends in the bench, will be sat for 2 minutes for cheeky business. 2 minutes for tripping then, the call on Jurasko. Narwhals
What's the number?
will be going on the Narwhals going on the penalty kill then for the next 2 minutes. Face-off is won by Briol. And that's Haynes hassling him in hard, trying to get away. And there's the breakaway. Look at that beautiful stretch outlet pass. Fires away. Josh Ho with the stop. Beautifully held in. Pukalski had all the room in the world. But Josh Ho gets the legs down to stave off what was indeed a very lethal short-handed opportunity. No icing, waved off as the penalty killers. So Narwhals playing that to their advantage. Briol fakes one. Roswoda across to Orlos. Orlos now behind his own net, trying to find Briol. Is he going to get beat to the punch there? No. Briol comes away with it. Working, feeds off. That one goes high and wide, as I think that's another Pukalski shot. Changeover made. No icing given. That one, I think, close enough for that to be fairly waved off. And now, Marty Bureau feeds in deep as we have Ulick and Haynes on the forecheck. And it doesn't quite feel like the Vikings are on the man advantage just yet. It's now already streaking away. Slap shot goes low and wide there. As we're just trying to figure out. That's Gabor Bogdan in the white helmet. Donison tries to feed into the centre in the neutral zone, but is met by a lack of teammates, really, as Jurasko is getting ready on the bench next to me to get back into the action. Again, some attempts to aggress on the forecheck. That's Tate Levesque wearing number 6, and Donison again looping in. McGlynn actually beats the wall battle there, but I think just mishandles that puck, and Donison working in hard. Working in, finds Gallen. Gallen with some fancy footwork. Has Donison now 10 seconds left on this power play, and all of the Narwhals streaking towards the front of the net, trying to crash in on Mikisa's territory with those devilish-looking new black pads of his. A very, very tidy look indeed, and that is Jurasko. Out of jail, back onto the field of play. And unfortunately, you just have a feeling that the Vikings didn't quite capitalise the way they would have hoped. They are, compared to some previous years, somewhat short-staffed, it must be said, with some road closures delaying their entry. And that's Terenchev streaking in alone. Isn't quite able to make it happen, but takes a lap. Has support in the form of McGinley. McGinley's looking for it in front of the net, but I think that was actually Slazarczyk who wanted it. Wrister fired away. Snapshot, sorry. No whistle. I'm not sure if there was a phantom whistle. Slazarczyk unable to keep it in. It's a race back home. Gallen again pressing in on the forecheck. That one is going to be scooped up by Matthias Norgren. And Terenchev still. Long shift for Terenchev now. Holding out on the ice. Still in this offensive zone. There's a man takes a tumble. It's Felix von Nathusius. Again, still keeping possession are these Cambridge Narwhals. Not quite sure where that puck's gone, and that one will be sent all the way down. And surely called back. No, waved off. Waved off. We've had enough done by Evan Ryder wearing number 93 to negate that icing. Good chase by that man. Jurasko slides across, trying to find Briol. Broken up there by Wiseman. That was Mikisa calling for the icing, wanting that rather desperately, but no, nothing doing. Bureau. That one's batted out of the air by Jurasko. Jurasko now moving in with some pace. Isn't quite able to get the shot off. Tries to find the backhanded pass to McGinley, but no, nothing doing. Kept in at the blue line by Von Nathusius. Jurasko working in low, hoping for someone net front presence, but none of his teammates rushing to meet him there. Briol now. Dancing in the corner. That one gets sent all the way back out. Will be collected by Von Nathusius. And laid off just a bit of tic-tac-toe. That's Pukowski again. Get dispossessed by Bureau. Now Charlie Clark coming back the other way. Pukowski, good stick work to try and dissuade. Clark is going to come out the beneficiary. Waiting for the puck to move upwards. There's the pass attempt from Haynes to Clark, but not going to be completed. Pukowski now spooling up the engine. Shot fired away. Glove save, but it's Jurasko! Jurasko opens the scoring. It was Pukowski lighting up that glove of Joshua Ho. And Ratko Jurasko, ever the optimist, lurking around that net front, able to smash home that rebound. A little bit soft of a giveaway, but it's a strong shot there. So no fault to Josh Ho. Tough one to control, coming off the high hashes. And there we have it. The Narwhals, in their experience, in their wisdom, they know they don't have to do all the work up front. They can fish for the stuff in front of the net, and that will do just as nicely. Although they have seemingly forgotten to put out two members of their defensive staff, as the referee's not best thrilled. So the Vikings will be wanting that one back. It's not a give-up goal by any means. They had to work for it, the Narwhals, but I think the Vikings will be wanting something a little bit more, as it's the home team to take the early lead, to strike first blood, as it were, as Makita just comes out. Likes to keep himself active, stay warm. And that's Donison looking to feed in front for Gallen. Not quite kept in by McGlynn. McGlynn having to circle out. Drops back for Gallen now. Gallen heading back home before winding up some speed. Drops off for Wilson. Wilson to McGlynn. McGlynn, slap shot from way out. Makita didn't even want to think about gloving that one down. Just went straight for the blocker across. Playing that out to, that must be Gabor Bogdan with the white helmet. And it is indeed Bogdan moving that one on nicely. There's a foot race in as Gabor Orban now manages to pick that one up. McGlynn not able to get the better of it in the foot race. Isles up top. Shot wound up. Shot stopped by Josh Ho, and it's another one fishing in front. No, waved off. Waved off. We've got the referee saying no goal. Oh, I think the fans wanted that one. It looked like a really good attempt. How it's sort of a shot came in from the blue line, but I think Josh Ho just had something on it, or maybe there was an interference call. We didn't quite get the full story. Maybe the GoPro will have it at the other end. As we'll look to see if we can splice that in on the replay. Face-off one then, fairly convincingly for the Narwhals by Matti Norgren. Now here we go again. Although McGinley dispossessed by Tate Levesque, and then it's Evan Ryder. And there's all sorts of pushing and shoving Makisa. And I think we've had a hook call now on big man McGinley. So he will be sat. I think... So 2 minutes for hooking is the call given. The second time that the Narwhals will be visiting the penalty box in this period. With the Vikings now on the power play. Looked like a good attempt. Maybe some solid forechecking pressure there from Tate Levesque and Evan Ryder to try and make something happen. That one will be tossed all the way out. Josh Ho thinks about moving to the corner, but that might be a stretch too far. As it's Marty Bureau to pick that one up. Off the skates of Roswada there. Just a gentle touch from Orlos. These two playing together for so long. Peterborough Phantoms as well. Peterborough Dynamo, I think. Please forgive me. That might be Dynamo rather than Phantoms. Josh Ho steps out to meet that one. Actually, isn't contested by Krakowski. Very much could have been. And that goes straight through the legs. Tapped in by Levesque. And I think that one will come all the way back round. Evan Ryder picks it up on the half wall. That one shot high and wide. And now Jacob Briel. This is where he really goes to work. And that one is, though, just trickling through the stick of Harvey Wilson. Nothing in front of the net there for Krakowski. Now Haynes coming back the other way. Has support in the form of Levesque. That one will be stripped away by Roswada. Briol now snaps one away off the post. You can hear the crowd ooh and ah as that one was mere inches from notching another short-handed tally. Oh, sorry, not short-handed tally. That first one was even strength. Jack Haynes comes in like a firework there, really lifting the stick, trying to get some assert some physical presence here. A lot of the Narwhals have been going for a fair while. Know all the tricks of the trade. Krakowski winding in fast, puts on the brakes. Just loses control of the puck ever so slightly. I think will be dispossessed by McGlynn. Now there's a battle down low in the corner. Stepping up to try and meet it is Flazarczyk, but that one will come all the way back out, collected by Gabor Bogdan. Waiting, thinking about his target is Norgren. Norgren to Bogdan. Terentchev now back off the bench. We know he likes to hustle. That will be the end of the penalty kill for the Narwhals. As McGinley straight out of the box, found by Bogdan. McGinley winds up, shot centre mass. Well controlled there by Josh. No shortage of work then for the goalie wearing number 9. Lifetime save percentage for Mr. Ho is 0.89. Very respectable across many years of playing. Sorry, I should clarify. Lifetime save percentage within the university structure across the Oxford Blues, the Vikings. Many, many minutes indeed. 1,752 minutes lifetime played. I suspect Yara Nakisa has a fair few more under his belt, though. And now, once again, the Narwhals looking for the breakout. McGinley has Terentchev. McGinley with a slapper off the shins of Marty Bureau, just nursing that left leg ever so slightly as that one bounces awkwardly. One's going to go, is wide, safely gloved down by Josh Ho. Just looking back at the season, it's been a tough one for the Oxford Vikings. Still in checking Division 2 in the South University competition. Currently going on 1 win for 4, or 1 win, 5 losses. 1 win, 4 losses. If I just get my numbers right. 1 win, 4 losses in the cup competition. So we just have a reset there. Someone trickling offside. That one's clean. Refs are happy. Puck still in the Viking zone. This game is, for all intents and purposes, I believe, non-checking, but that is not to say non-contact. Neither of these two teams particular strangers to either. Working low still. Narwhal. The shot opportunity passed up by Briol. That one's going to go wide. Sent in by Arthur Orlos. There's Roswada on the back foot. They're looking for the icing. Refs are saying, nope, got to work harder than that, lads. Make it look like you're skating at the very least. And now Bukowski in. Has McGlynn stopping him. Fires a shot. That one's fairly safe. And safe it is indeed into the waiting arms of Josh Ho. Collapsed very neatly. And just looking at the flow of play so far, it does look like the Narwhals are on the front foot. Again, Oxford not having as many players as they might typically bring to this fixture. I think we did see the long limbs of Sean Harrington just coming out of the dressing room, so I wonder if he will be making an appearance in the not too distant future, as there's a pretty blistering entry there, and Tim Donison, I wonder if he's passing on a few extras to Mikisa on the way out. Orban flips across for McConnell. No, it's not going to be McConnell, it's going to be Eels that gets it first. Isles, sorry. I do apologise, we didn't figure out which way we should be saying your name. We'll do my best. That one's fired in by Tim Donison, not looking for a change. And again, Vikings just a little bit behind the curve on this one. Although that being said, Captain Dan Ulick going to work. Unable to hold it in is Tim Donison. Jack Haynes racing away against Gabor Orban. Takes a tumble. Now the Narwhals with a chance for possession. It's McConnell making his way net front. He's not going to go straight in, as some good sticks laid down by the Vikings there, able to dissuade that particular attempt. Again, a bit of argy-bargy along the half-wall, and there's a call. I think that's a trip coming. McConnell. Oh, we've got an interference call. Dan McConnell is going to be sent to the bench, and I wonder, the third penalty in the first period now for the Narwhals. He maybe feels it's a bit of a gimme, bit of a soft one. It's number 9, Dan McConnell in the box. For 2 minutes. The Narwhals once again on the penalty kill. Not that it really seems to be slowing them down awfully. Oh, there's a whistle there though. I think that's Pukowski just getting rearranged by the referee there. Hovering it just a touch offside, but that one will go. Well, 3 minutes and 20 seconds left in the period. That one's fired all the way out. Comes to Pukowski. Pukowski basically one-on-one with Martin Bureau. Pukowski waits. Dumps it off for Bryle. Bryle down low. Again, trying to find something. I think that was a high flip. Trying to find Orlos. Rozwoda. Back to Orlos. That one poked out of the zone. Misha Garbor unable to... Sorry, that's Charlie Clark. My apologies. Misha Garbor not with us today. Charlie Clark unable to hold the line, although fishing for the stretch pass. That one disrupted by Norbert Rozwoda, who's in alone, manages to find it, lays it off to Pukowski. Bit of a miscue. That was a real promising chance for the Narwhals. That one goes high in. Again, Marty Bureau seems to be the punching bag for these Narwhal shots. Has taken several already. Upstairs, downstairs, anywhere you like. And now it's Briol in alone. Thinks about going all the way around. Josh Ho is down already, trying to figure out which post he should be hugging. Puck still kept here by the Narwhals. Pukowski has help up top. And that one is gloved. A shot from a sharp angle. Josh Ho working well there to turn away the danger. Once again, you just don't get the sense that the Vikings are on the man advantage. You just don't expect them to be on the power play with this pressing offense that the Narwhals are laying down. It's a good face-off win up top. Orban has a chance. It's a long shot, deflected a couple of times in front. We've seen over the course of the Winter Olympics in the last few days how some of these seemingly no-hoper long shots can be particularly treacherous if there are enough bodies and sticks in front of the eyesight of the goalie, the eye line, I should say, as Josh Ho scoops up another one. Not a particularly challenging attempt, not going to trouble someone of his calibre. And we're just looking, I mean, we're really expecting the offensive point production. If we look at the Vikings stats, it's all on Henry Gallen. Only man to have scored. Oh, I think that's a toss. That's no. Face-off violations. Mike is just about getting, the Narwhals just about getting away with it, rather. Now here comes Dan Ulick speeding, and that's a sure interference call. I mean, Slozarczyk taking the tactical penalty, but that's 2 Narwhals now in the box. Taking away the body. That's a second interference call. And it's Lukasz Slozarczyk. As it was Ulick on the rush. There was a second defender, so it's not an uncontested rush or a hook from behind or anything like that. We're now moving to 5-on-3 for the next 18 seconds. Now really would be the time to strike for the Vikings. Let's see what they can come up with. Face off. aggressively won. And that's still loose. And there's some argy-bargy pushing and shoving. It's Jurasco getting in. No, sorry, it's Rozwoda getting into some deliberations there with what looked like either Jack Haynes or Tim Donison. As you can just sense the tensions in this match, which are always lurking not too far from the surface, starting to make themselves known. As the ref has a quick chat to everyone, settles them down. Says, right, lads, thank you very much. That's enough of that. Let's get back to the hockey. Second attempt then on that face-off dot. Haynes tries to get the win. It's good physical tie-up. Fair contest. Donison trying to feed out in front. Almost finds Haynes, but that one is well disrupted. There's the first of two then. Only 5-on-4 now for the Narwhals as Dan McConnell goes streaking into the offensive zone. That one will be collected by Isles. Orlov to Isles. No. That one is going to skip all the way. No icing called because they are short-handed, of course. Much as it may not feel like it. Jack Haynes about to run into the brick wall of Rozwoda. Rozwoda saying, hands in the air, wasn't me, ref. Nothing to do with him falling over. Now Norbert looking for the outlet. Has his buddy Orlos on the wing. Wilson unable to quite control it. McGlynn now. Time, space, does have a hand. But it's Terenchev in early. Trying to cause a little bit of hassle. He will peel back and allow Isles to step up. Orlov now, working in alone, only manages to fire it into Evan Ryder. That one goes almost all the way over the top of the dehumidifier running across the top of the ring. But still not breaching the field of play. Kept in, Terenchev back to Rozwoda. Maybe a mishandle, Jack Haynes unable to control it though. That one slid wide by Norgren. Norgren up to Terenchev. Terenchev getting harried by what looks to be Harry Gallen. Still nothing doing, and that will spell the end of the first period as we go into a 3-minute break for the teams to rest and recharge. So far then, it's all been on the Narwhals. The Vikings not looking too shabby,
but not quite having as many chances as they would have really liked. So a chance to tactically reset. We're going to take a quick break and we shall rejoin you in period number 2.
So it's the long change for the second period. Significant amount of penalty trouble, though, for the Narwhals, it must be said. As already several trips to the bench, some even concurrent. So already it's 5-on-3 is now Tim Donison with a breakaway of a lifetime on the wing. Fires a shot up. Makisa stands up tall, takes that one in the thigh rise of the pads as Donison down on the floor. And battling hard now, Ulick. There seems to be some renewed enthusiasm showing on the faces of these Oxford Vikings as it's Bureau. Sends that one in all the way round. That's the end of that penalty then. The overhanging penalty kill for the Narwhals from period 1 as a result of another interference call. And that's Jurasco trying his luck, but not finding anything. He was the first goal scorer. You know, the long shot attempts from Harry Gallen coming back the other way. Harry Gallen, as previously mentioned, the primary goal scorer for the Oxford Vikings on the season. The only man to have scored more than 2, and it has indeed been a difficult season for the Vikings here. So somewhat unsurprising that point production is lower than historical highs, as they would have seen in 2023 and 24. If I am not mistaken, were unbeaten and only drawing 1, respectively. And there's a really good chance in front. It's not quite finding its way through. Might have just bobbled over the top. And now a good physical battle for possession down on the low boards. That one skips over the top of Arthur or loss. Makisa slaps that one away. Rozwoda has calls already out from Gabor Orban. And that's, I think, just a little bit late in the day. Maybe should have laid that one off slightly sooner. Getting to work now are the defences of the Oxford Vikings. That's Julius Wiseman. Charlie Clark trying to send that one back the other way. Wiseman to pick up. No, there's a miscue between the Vikings, and that isn't really a shot from Orban, but enough to get the puck moving back towards the net. Steps in now. Fed in front. Now that looks to be... That's Von Lethusius. It's Bogdan. Up in front. Again, just not quite finding purchase there. That's a long-range shot. Ooh, bounced off the framework there. I think that one bobbled a bit from Bogdan. Bogdan just going to slow up. Oh, and that one is going to be out of play. So Narwhals taken back just a slight slow down in their march on forward. Just a slightly dodgy misdirect. Puck rising up off the stick. And now, if my eyes do not deceive me, number 14, back to the camera as you are looking, looks to be Sean Harrington wearing just about everything of someone else's kit. And now we're saying the Narwhals were a bit too slow on the change. So the change is being tossed. Lucky not to find themselves faced with a delay of game there. The referee's displeased that they're taking quite so long to get their house in order. This does indeed appear to be Sean Harrington, wearing socks that famously never fitted in. Even less so if they're someone else's. But a delight to see him back on the field of play. And now Harvey Wilson will collect this one. McGinley thinking about the forecheck, but not quite getting there. This is Martin Kalawski now. Quiet so far this game. Not seen too much of him on the puck. There's some big clattering down low. Again, that puck just vying for possession. McGlynn able to hold into the blue line. No, skips in front. And now with some real speed behind him, McGinley, slap shot. Feels like it could have cracked the glass. But nowhere near troubling the net or the netminder. Looking for the outlet, but Harrington, ooh, way offside is Tate Levesque. So unfortunately the Vikings unable to capitalise on that. And now up the middle, Terenchev doesn't control it. McKinley looks like he was about to take Wilson's head off from the neck up. Well, that's where the head is, I suppose. It's, the Narwhals just figuring out what exactly they wish to do here. As there's a slowdown, puck trapped in the feet, but that is going to be worked loose. Bounced around by Harrington to himself. Tate Levesque able to push that one on, but Haynes not really in a position to meet him. Or meet the pass, I should say. Spinning, looking, is Slazarczyk. No icing, waved off. Wilson now with some time. As Harrington on the same side, has McGlynn opposite. Urasco not choosing to feed it back, instead finds Briol. Lukowski, Briol, Urasco. You've got to imagine this is their top line. This is their offensive superstardom, and it's Orozwoda. No, Orlos. I think slap shot there from Orlos maybe caught Josh Ho in the mask. I think that's why we've had the whistle. The Narwhals not quite sure what all the fuss was about, but ref spotted that. That's caught the goalie up high, so entirely valid restart there. 5 minutes, or 4 minutes 30 down then in the second period. Roswater not able to get the shot away. Tries to find Orlos. That one bobbles through. Oh, a really nice feed from Urasco to Briol. You can just sense the synergy that these guys have from playing for so long. Some outraged cries and there's a bit of bodying, but nothing quite to write home about. We've all been playing for long enough for that not really to faze them all that much. Bureau now picks up, looking for an outlet. Just sends that one all the way through. That might have come up a ref skate, not quite sure. Orlos finds Briol. Briol has Urasco, but immediately stripped by Gallen. That's Wiseman. Has Gallen for support. Briol just fishing. Mikisa saying, hey, give us an icing there. And they will get that one. The Vikings walked all the way back down the other end then. And it feels like the Narwhals are sniffing blood in the water. They are hungry. No line change. That first line then, staying out, looking to see what they can pick up for themselves. With the cross, Bukowski, that one goes up and high. No, not leaving the net. Fired in, that one goes! And it's Artur Orlos from the blue line. Manages to sneak his way in past the guard of Josh Ho to put the Narwhals on the board for number 2. Very, very nicely found. And that will do quite nicely. And we think that's Jakub Bukowski then on the assist from that slightly erroneous wayward shot. But he's not going to complain about that. Points on the board, and points, as we know, mean prizes. And the prize is the one they are all after, that coveted cup. Way offside, but well held there. Good discipline from Orban not to touch the puck over the line. No icing. Waved off. It's full up, getting in up close and personal, harrying the defence. It's a lovely kind of blind stick check there from Dan McConnell. Trying to get himself working. And that one will escape the zone. It's Bogdan moving across. As some shouts from the bench. Think it might be the Oxford bench looking for something, not sure what. Or big crunches. Now we're starting to get some of the extracurriculars. Shot fired in from high by Von Mathusius. Quite going to find its way to the front of the net though, and starting to see some elbows and sticks flying with a bit more velocity, a bit more intent perhaps than we had just 10 minutes ago. Now old man McGlynn on the rush, has Evan Ryder for support. McGlynn fires, Makisa able to bounce that one away. Didn't have too much control on the rebound, didn't really need it. Almost cleared the zone just from that bounce back. So that was almost a very, very nice move indeed by Gavel Orban going round 2, but can't quite complete it. Puck left behind. McGlynn now with Ryder in front, tries to bounce up. It's picked up by Levesque. Levesque hustling in hard, the body taken away by Bogdan. Again, the Narwhals just playing smart, not too hard. Why do you need to race the puck if you can just stop your man getting there in the first place? As Terenchev now collects, fires across to McGinley. McGinley in alone, winds up, no, tries to get a little bit too cheeky with it. And then stopped at the high hashes by Martin Bureau. Oh, and there's almost a cartoon coming together of Jack Haynes and Sean Harrington. Now it's Lukasz Slazarczyk, not able to get the shot off in time, but Slazarczyk now trying to come back. Harrington just bounces that into the waiting arms as Josh Ho collects and covers. A pretty hefty shot from high from Matthias Norgren. 12 minutes 30 to go in the period. Once again. As I think the scoreboard now accurately reflects, we might have just not had the number on there before, but I can indeed confirm it's 2-0 to the Narwhals then. With just under 30 minutes of gameplay. Tim Donison with an excellent read on the play. Makisa coming almost out to the halfway line to meet him. Donison just loses control of the puck, but that could have been really something for the Narwhals. It's a turn fire from Ulick. Tim Donison, that might have been something special had he just managed to corral that puck. It's a tough ask. I mean, managed to bodge it out of the blue line in his own zone, chasing it down at top speed with defence trailing back. Not an easy ask, and Makisa, not a goalie to shy away from that confrontation, stepping out, making himself large and imposing. Oh, it's Brio fishing really for a pretty beautiful stretch pass. Again, just tapping sticks there with Josh Ho. Kalski has it. Finds Rozwoda up top. Rozwoda launches a shot. It's caught someone up high somewhere. It's still loose, but that whistle is going to go. I think there's a high stick caught. Very good eye from the referee. In and amongst all of the action, someone's stick coming above shoulder height. It looks like it might be the Narwhals, so they're going to get pushed out of the zone. Haynes steps up. Previous Oxford Vikings captain. And I believe it was the 23-24 season. No, 24-25 season, in fact. So down 1. Narwhals again, still with some zone pressure, zone time. Working down low. Briol looking for the feed, looking to find someone. The ref. Oh, it's a lovely attempt. Bukowski just can't quite get enough steam on it. And Josh Ho is going to turn that one away. Roswada collects. Very good pace from Ulick to make that a headache. And it will be the Vikings coming back the other way. Briol picks up now, in. Versus 2, snaps off the shins of Harvey Wilson, and that one will bounce out. Harvey Wilson not afraid to put the body on the line, time and time again over the years. Intentionally or otherwise, he will find his way to put up bodily resistance. And continues to do so. Gallen then versus McConnell in the face-off dot, won by Gallen. Harrington taking a bit of a chop from Gabor Orban. That one laid off. Bogdan's not Orban, sorry. That one pushed all the way across. That was Isles. Now streaking in. Bogdan wants it. Fed, but just can't quite find the connection. Really lovely move and good thinking of Bogdan Orban coming together, combining the double Gabor superpower. That's Orban laying it off. McConnell with a shot in front, locked down, and now back the other way. Harry Gallen has Harrington with for support. Harrington going to go wide. Nope, I think we're okay on the offside, but Gallen maybe trying to put on the move his team weren't expecting. That one going to get rang all the way around by Bogdan. Held in very nicely by Charlie Clark, but it's just a body up, and unfortunately, Charlie Clark not quite proving the match there for Fulop Isles. I'm going to switch to Eles. Sorry, Fulop. I think that's probably closer. As that one now broken out. Matty Norgren flicks it high and wide. Kept in, but no. Too many men. And surely this is now starting to become a little bit farcical from the Narwhals here. Some real poor penalty discipline. Who's going to go in the box? It looks like it's going to be Kalavsky joining us for a short stay. But some slightly sloppy changing from the Narwhals. And once again, they find themselves... No, it won't. I thought it was Kalavsky. It doesn't look like it. We're getting Gabor Orban to join us in the box instead. Kalavsky has wriggled his way out of that one. Get out of jail free key. Now, Oxford Vikings on the power play. Face-off, won by Briol. Drop back by Bukowski. Roswada looking round, finds Orlos. Roswada once again has Briol flying all the way up. It's a breakaway, 1-0. Jakub Briol goes short side. No, doesn't find it. Tries to bait Josh Ho into going down on the first move and then wrong foot him going back the other way, but no dice. A beautiful attempt for the Narwhals. Again, another short-handed goal. Working these breakouts. Bukowski in alone has Briol, but slightly further behind. Now Orlos circling in. That one fed in front of the net. Orlos going to take it collective, but Josh Ho. Well done, that man, diving on top of that puck to stop any funny business. 40 seconds gone on the power play, and I think almost all of it's been spent by the Vikings defending their own zone. They are just not quite able to string it together at the moment and create those truly challenging, truly dangerous chances. Coming back the other way. Mikisa focused right now in the zone. No, we're saying push back. Tim Donison just getting tossed out of the circle slightly, or at least asked to back up. That one is going to go all the way over. Mikisa saying, hey, icing. No, Mikisa really wants that call, but not going to be given. Now here's the chance. Eles. Backhander on net. Josh Ho makes the stop. Didn't quite have as many defensemen around him as he thought he might. There's an attempt. And that is gloved down. It was a nice shot there from Lukasz Ślozarski. Ślozarski, sorry. It's a nice shot. No changes, no delayed changes either. Still, the next 50 seconds, the Vikings with the man advantage. However, not much to show for it so far. Is this going to be the turnaround? Donnison has Ulick ahead. Ulick skips out of the way, collects the puck, but just so many Narwhals you wouldn't imagine they're on the penalty kill. Doubling up, tripling up almost on that zone entry just to deny. And I think Matthias Norgren is not too worried about making it any further in. And there is a penalty coming. Ślozarski is headed for the box once more, and a pretty obvious, it's going to be given as an elbow, I think. Might have been an interference. 2 minutes for elbowing. Ślozarski not looking too downtrodden about the whole thing, but now once again, the Oxford Vikings 5-on-3, the second time in this match that they find themselves +2 on the ice. 15 seconds of 5-on-3, then a minute and 45 remaining of 5-on-4, pending no goals. And I think the Narwhals will just be looking to send this one screaming out of the zone. Jack Haynes short, can't find it, snaps a shot away, but it's wide, covered up by Makisa pretty happily. Should have been dangerous, but just shy of the target there. 5 seconds then, still to go of 5-on-3. No, just going to have a quick reset on that one. First warning to the Narwhals on jumping the gun, as that's Pukowski does win the draw. And now we have Gabor Orban back on the ice. 5-on-4, will be changing for Briol. Coming back the other way then, Harrington tries to feed off to Charlie Clark. Clark, a little bit of footwork there to keep the puck for his team, as it's Haynes and Harrington trying to super combine. Wilson stretches out for that one. He's just going to dump it in. No icing. As that one will be rang all the way back round. Oh, and look at this. It's Pukowski, goal hanging to the extreme, but in a very legitimate onside manner. That one, though, quite going to be controlled as Orlos slows the pace down, takes some time behind the net, and then rips one all the way up, finds Wilson. Wilson just catches an edge there. McGlynn goes diving, very well held to stop Pukowski on that one. That one goes up and high, though, as the shot attempt comes in. Very good committal by Kevin McGlynn. Once again, body on the line. Wily old campaigner, but just under 6 minutes to go left in the period. 6 minutes remaining in the period. Face-off won by the Narwhals. So slightly soft throw in there from Bogdan. It's Wiseman hustling really hard again, just picking up on that. The effort now has picked up as Makisa's gone down, diving on some scrappy stuff in front of the net. And once again, it's Yaroslav Makisa backstopping the Narwhals, keeping them out of trouble. So far, clean sheet. Now, the way this is currently going, it may very well stay that way. Back to even strength. We'll see how long the penalty discipline lasts from the Narwhals. They have been frequent flyers, really. There's loyalty points coming their way from this side of the penalty box. There's that one. Quite sure where that came from or where it ended up going. McGlynn jumping up to try and catch, can't find it. Wilson getting chased in now by Andy Terenchev. Chance really looking dangerous for Matti Norgren. Caught up high, it's Kalavsky, and just a frenetic pace of play now. The Narwhals really pushing to try and string something together. Weaving in is Ślozarczyk, but not finding. Some very, very close attempts there by the Narwhals, but once again, none of them getting past the watchful eye of Josh Ho on this occasion. Evan Ryder was looking to hang out, but McGinley now has time and space, cuts back to the inside. What a save! Snapped down, instantly gloved. And that's just the stuff of goalie magic, really. Josh Ho, cool, calm, and collected. Again, Ryan McGinley, a man with some serious strength behind some of those shots. But that one taken in his stride by Josh Ho. Vikings win the face-off there. Draws back. Haynes fires across, trying to find Harrington. Harrington slightly overskated that. Feeds across to Charlie Clark. Clark just didn't quite have his feet under him. Terencio pushes across for Norgren. Norgren has McGinley. McGinley rips another one. Again, safely held. Centre mass for Joshua Ho. Time ticking down. The number of stoppages due to shots. I mean, you can just see there Josh Ho taking a knee. This will be taking its toll somewhat on him. He's doing a lot of the defensive backstopping here. And it's taking a little bit of that energy out, so we'll see. Going into the third period, there will be a nice resurface, so the pace of the game might pick back up again, as well as a chance for the team to get some water on board, have a bit of a proper breather, as opposed to the short shifts they might currently be getting. Briol snaps the front to Urasco. Urasco just about keeping on his feet there. He tried to wind up the crossovers, does manage to get to it. No icing danger. Kukowski goes for a lap, hopping over the stick of Charlie Clark and then backhanding that one way down low. Briol working the office. Kukowski once more finds Rozwoda. Orlos already with one on the board. Takes it lower. Norbert with time and space chooses not to use it. Kukowski sends that one high and wide. Rattling some of the shotters there as that one, the clear-out attempt by Jack Haynes just trickles past our commentary box. Orlos finding Briol, just mishandled. Gallen looking to turn, gets past two. Harry Gallen now, looking dangerous. That one's not caught, but is blocked away. Gallen again, short side, trying to feed across on the backhand, but it's a bit of a one-man army so far on this offense. And now coming back the other way, Norbert, flat shot from long. Josh Ho going to be able to turn that one away. Plenty of time to crack it in. But it's the follow-up that you should be concerned about. Ooh, as there's a little bit of a trip. Well, tripping over from Urasco. Everyone kind of slowing down. Not really sure why. Norbert Rozwoda in. Does have some support. Attempting to be manhandled by Julius Wiseman. But Rozwoda, a big enough boy to manage himself quite happily. Bukowski down low. Bumps across for Briol. Urasco just encroaching somewhat. Sharp angle shot. Now Donison has help in front. Donison winding up the pace. Has Ulick on his wing. Fires across for that one. Just stepped aside by Makisa. Look at him. He's just unfazed. Contented, holding his start. Hasn't moved off that near side post for the whole play. And now Briol back the other way. Has the chance in alone, tries to beat it back, tries to sweep in. Beautiful quick thinking. But Josh Ho slams the gate shut, tries to catch that, but just fumbles. As the waffling shot comes in. Donison, again, this is a familiar story. Donison, right-hand wing, has Ulick, slides it to the net. Makisa, entirely unbothered. And then there seems to be a bit of a tangle after the fact. That looks like it was Bogdan going into Ulick. Ulick is getting up under his own steam as Donison perhaps sharing some choice words. Just saying to the refs, hey, come on. Let's have some protection for the younger fellas. But I think all good-natured. Still see some smiles on those faces, so nothing too untoward, I both suspect and hope. Coming now down into the final 2 minutes of the period. Fed round, or just gently tapped round by Juan Lethusius. Faked the big wind-up. And they're now on the half ball as Bogdan is getting harried and hassled by Jack Haynes. Looking to make something happen. Evan Ryder, ooh, penalty, there it is. And it was a step too far for Master Haynes on the harrying. He will be sent to the bench, or the penalty box rather, for being slightly over-eager. 2 minutes for hooking then for Jack Haynes. And now you've got to think that with the Vikings on the penalty kill, the first time this game, This might be a real chance for the Narwhals to add a third to their tally. No one currently on hat-trick watch. Goal scorers, Bratko Jurasko and Arta Orlos so far. But now a pretty premium opportunity. We've seen already the Narwhals can play like they have the man advantage even when they're the man down. So now that they actually do have a numbers advantage, let's see what they can make of it. Although it's going to result not from giveaways like that. Ryan McGinley able to pick up the scraps. McGinley has help, has Terentia. And does indeed drop it down. That looks like it's Norgren picked it up. Norgren looking to set up the box. Terentia has help at the high point. Kolavsky from Slozarczyk, sorry. Kolavsky blocked, swept away by Kevin McGlynn. That one on the goal line, hanging around. Josh Ho got the first read, but didn't know where it went, following the blocker. Huge shot in from Slozarczyk. Still up top is Kolavsky. Norgren down low. Hustled. Getting really hustled by Wiseman there. Wiseman, great work to separate man from puck. Kolavsky taking a ride. Norgren has some options, finds Slozarczyk. Slozarczyk left alone in front. Can't quite sweep it away. Oh, McGinley had it on a silver platter. Just didn't quite have it. And that will be all she wrote for period number 2. As both teams will look to head to the changing rooms for a brief pause as we get the ice resurfaced and we have some of the extracurricular entertainment. So we will rejoin you all in good time for the third and final period of this year's Cambridge Narwhals versus Oxford Vikings Varsity Match.
Welcome back to the third period and the final period of this year's Varsity Match between the Cambridge Narwhals and the Oxford Vikings. Last 20 minutes of action, currently scores on the doors, 2-0 in favour of the Narwhals. Some excellent goals scored. Bratko Jurasko the first, and then Artur Orlos the second. Oxford Vikings currently on the penalty kill, one man down after Jack Haynes took a
hooking penalty, in just at the end of the last period. So Oxford playing with 4, already a short bench team. As we are ready to rock and roll, game back underway. Final 20 minutes for this year's varsity matchup between these two teams. Orlos working in low. Tries to send that round to someone, not quite sure who he might have been aiming for. As Briel picks up on the cross pass from Kukowski. Orlos back at the top, has Rozwoda, walks the line, drops the hammer, sends it wide though. That one bounced off the side of the net by Bukowski and Kevin McGlynn. Kevin McGlynn putting in some serious defensive work. Jack Haynes now back in action. Set loose. That one is going to be held in at the line, and good stick check from Jack Haynes. Denies a proper shot attempt as Briel there, working hard. Jurasko lets that one slide, we'll say intentionally. Bukowski sets up on the hash marks. At the top, Orlos. Now Harry Gallen has Donison ahead of him. Donison has been looking for a couple of these sneaky breakouts. Gallen takes an extra step. Fires into the shin pads of Orlos, and Jack Haynes goes down. Might have sold it a little bit, but you know what? I think that's a pretty fair trip to see, and goes to chat, no hard feelings, all good. I think that's a pretty fair and square. So, penalty kill done for Oxford. Power play now begins. It's a slash, actually, is what we've got down, not a trip. I do apologise. So Orlos will be out of action for the next 2 minutes with the Oxford Vikings. Given a chance, one of not really that many they've had this game so far to make something happen in the ozone. Marty Diarot is covered off, I should say, by Fulop Iles. Circling in front, here's Norgren. Bogdan comes on, flying on through, but So just a couple of savvy stick checks from the Oxford bunch here. Wiseman fires into the back of Donison's skate by the looks of things. Norgren now has a chance to pick up. Has Ehlers in front of net. Circling high as well. Bogdan caught up high is Josh Ho on the save. But that one going nowhere. Now back in again. Backhanded shot attempt. Safely dispatched by Josh Ho. Just looking back through some of the stats here to give you a sense of just how long some of these guys have been going. Tim Donison, Kevin McGlynn. Tim Donison, 162 lifetime games across the BUIHA. Kevin McGlynn not that far behind, 123. Between them, almost 300 games lifetime. The rest of their team not coming close to that cumulatively. As that's Tate Levesque feeding off of Brett Haynes. Some rather outside shots here, slightly speculative chances for the Oxford Vikings, and once again that one sent all the way down. As the Narwhals clear their zone, give themselves some breathing room. Chance to regroup McGlynn. Some fancy footwork, still has it. McGinley wasn't quite sure where it went, sorry. Evan Ryder. Battling hard against McGinley, and it's McGlynn to pick up the scraps. McGlynn now going toe-to-toe with Norbert Roswoda. Norbert, I think, just coming out the better of the two. Harvey Wilson gets the kick stop, does manage to keep his feet. It's 11-on-11 violence as McGinley thinks about it, but thinks better of it, perhaps, and peels away. Although Wilson getting his pocket picked by Jakob Briol, and Bogdan is fishing in front to try and send that one home on the backhander. But no dice. Swept in by Kolabski. Briol once again down low. Jakob Briol, just a lethal operator. Haven't quite seen him fully work those jets, those afterburners that we know he can throw on. It'll be interesting to see if he gets a chance to really spool up the jets in this period. He goes toe-to-toe once more with McGlynn. That one is popped ahead by Levesque. Now escaping the zone. Just unfortunate there for Julius Wiseman. Really thought he had it. It was a heroic attempt to try and hold the line. But that puck just escaping containment there. Urasco, the loser of that particular draw, as Makisa gloves it, thinks about it, but actually lets it bobble. Harrington drops down to Gallen now. Gallen has Clark in front of the net, but that one will be stopped up by Urasco. Ooh, some Kalski Urasco. Just look at him. You can't not love Yara Makisa. He's so casual. Now Jakob Briol has support. Finds Bukowski on the far side. Urasco crashing the net, as is Briol. Briol goes down, but the softest touch you've ever seen. Doesn't get it anywhere near past the line. That was, once again, a golden opportunity, and Josh Ho goes sprawling on that one. Briol not going to give him a hard time. That really was a knee-down hero moment. Unfortunately, the connection just missed. Briol not able to get any real oomph on the back end. Josh Ho lives to see another day. Lives to save another play, I suppose he can have. Big hammered shot down, but gloved safely. I thought Bukowski might have got a little bit of that action as Donison and Ross just having a quick chat. Urasco coming off the winner of the face-off, and now Donison, oh! Surely coming down on a penalty, as Orlos very much cut him down mid-stride. And the Vikings still actually playing on this delayed penalty. They've pulled the goalie, Josh Ho is out of the net, and there it is! There it is, Harry Gallen, that man! Just what we thought might happen, the delayed penalty. Artur Orlos will be not feeling all too pleased with himself for that, tripping down Tim Donison. But the Oxford Vikings making something happen Not quite at the death. It has to be said, there is still plenty of time yet in the day. 15 minutes to go. So we think that was 55.
Yeah, what was the penalty? Yeah, and what, 24 you said? Number? What number was it?
55 from 21 from 4. So that's McGlynn, Captain Dan Ulick, and then Harry Gallen, goal scorer supreme for the Oxford Vikings, combining on a delayed penalty goal. Might that just be the spark? Quite sure we had an onside, but so far so good for the refs. 2-1 now. Suddenly, a little bit more life seems to be apparent on the Oxford bench. Ears have pricked up. Feet have been found. This is Gavor Orban working in alone. Has net front presence for Dan McConnell. Not going to do anything though. McConnell feeds back up top. Looking for the pass across. Oh, Josh Ho. Eyes on it all the way home. Very, very nice indeed. And you just get the feeling there might be a little bit more fight in these Vikings yet. Just checking that the net's still on. Secured. Seems to be. Josh Ho. It's let 2 pass in the first 2 periods. Looking to be on a much steadier footing now. Warmed up in the zone. That one ripped past. I don't think Ho had any eyes on it. That one came flying off the stick of Lukasz Slosarczyk. Now Jack Haynes sprung free, has Ryder with him. Takes a stick check, almighty stick check there from Kalawski, and Kalawski played that role so well. Entirely legal contact, just took away any of the venom that shot might have had, and now fed across, fed back. It's a little tic-tac-toe, and that is how the cookie crumbles. Just beautiful work. And I think that might have been our... Are we saying? No? What are we saying? Waved off? No goal, kicking motion. Oh, no goal, distinct kicking motion. My, oh my. We thought the fans had read it all right. We had read that right. No, refs are saying distinct kicking motion to finish the goal. Therefore, no go. And that might have just saved the Vikings from the guillotine there. McGinley now, he wants that one back, absolutely. There is some fire in his eyes as he just came past the bench. Terenchev now fires a shot. Martin Bureau once again, just shins of steel, this lad. Slid across was the attempt from Norgren, but nothing doing. Slosarczyk fires in deep, but again, really too much company to help him out. This is a slightly slow approach from Wiseman. Wiseman off to Gallen. Gallen tries to chip past Jurasko. Some nice stick work there to get past Pukowski. Vratko Jurasko not giving up the ghost on that particular attempt. Still forechecking hard. There's the attempted pass through. It's Charlie Clark trying to race in. He's not going to get there in good time. Just a little shake of the head there from Captain Jurasko as he streams past the commentary booth. Thinks that one should have gone. We've currently got some Super Mario music courtesy of Aino there, so thanks Aino for that one. Briol across to Pukowski, broken up by Gallen and Clark by the looks of things. Sweeping in now, Rozwoda has Orlos up top. Orlos doesn't get the connection. There's a redirect attempt for Briol. Tic-tac-toe! There he goes! Briol Pukowski from Orlos. And there it is, the play that didn't happen last time round, the distinct kicking motion waved off. That one will do very nicely. Thank you very much. I think they've got the second assist. Second assist on that one might be wrong. I had it as from number 12, but we'll go with what the refs say for now until video proves us otherwise. I think that was Orlos launching the shot then in seamless finishing. Had the man at the back post, Brill, smart enough, head snapped up, said thank you very much. will have that one for free. And what looked to be the momentum swing from that the delayed penalty goal in the Oxford Vikings has now very much swung the other way. After one disallowed, one allowed. Bogdan, it's a shot rip, but a couple of miscues from the Narwhals on these long shots from the point. Harvey Wilson now breaking free, has Jonathan, has Captain Ulick, tries to get over to Jonathan McGlynn, glove down, lets one rip, but Makisa, more than aware of what's going on there, happy to get to that one without too much trouble. Donison trying to sound out Gabor Orban there, and now this is Iles coming out of the zone, has some help, sweeps all the way across to Bogdan, is picked up by Dan McConnell, but picked his pocket, has young Master Haynes. Jack Haynes, no, trying to find Ulick on the long round the boards breakout. Has in fact just turned over the puck. That one attempted to be chipped in by Kulok Iles. Round and round the world goes Gabor Orban. This again, another couple of crossfires across the net front. Yeah. Tim Donison really racing. Oh! Slightly giving up the ghost there was Gabor Bogdan saying, hey, I don't have to skate anymore. He's not beat me to it. Tim Donison, that's the second, I think, of those calls. He's not thrilled with this game, I should say. He's been putting some serious effort in, and I think, actually, he's come off the better of the two. Icing waved off and actually being reset to centre ice as an acknowledgement that maybe wasn't the right whistle. Wiseman chipping round. Terenchev trying to break through the line is Levesque, but no, now coming back the other way. Norgren has support. Terenchev in front of the net. I think that was McGinley that was just trying to go backwards between the legs. Not quite clear, but didn't quite break it down. Face-off won by the Vikings, just about, but Terenchev, the first on the scene, chips in front of McGinley. McGinley takes two bites of the apple, but can't make it stick. Long offside as the Narwhals clear the zone. That one shot into the pants of McGinley, and now coming back the other way. Terenchev, Norgren slaps one. As that is steered aside. And Tate Levesque there, a nice little fake move, but unfortunately no one on the end of it to collect, so possession once again changing hands as Josh Hope drops that another rebound away. Just looking at some of the shots here. It's a pretty clear picture. 5 shots counted for the Oxford Vikings as Evan Ryder sprung free, but that one going a little bit too long. Trying to find the net front. Still there, still hustling in front. Oh, and just to the feet goes Tate Levesque. Gallant, the goal scorer so far for the Vikings, chooses to give it up. Ryder's got to put more of an effort in than that because Terenchev is going to be racing to the boards. That sets free Gabor Orban. Oh, sorry, that's Martin Kalawski wearing the 13. As Kalawski is getting up close and personal there with Wiseman, as that one is waved off. Makisa, not quite sure what the call is there. Surprised that there isn't one. You need a little bit of determinism now. Determination. The Oxford do not believe in determinism. Who's to say? Jurasko has Pukalski, has Briel trailing behind. Drop pass is a nice idea, just about held in by Orlos, one of the goal scorers so far, assisted on the third goal as well. Briel, great stick taps. Harrington just works it loose. Haynes lays it off to Charlie Clark, but I think just some wires crossed along the way. Wright didn't quite know what the left was doing. And now here come the Narwhals. Orlos, Briel catching up at lightning speed. Orlos weaving in. That one sent wide. Another shot pushed to the net front now. Jack Haynes. He's winding up. Takes a couple of shots from Jurasko. Jack Haynes moving with some serious pace. Has to dodge Pukalski, who had pretty much lined him up through the numbers there, and he's done well. Both of them, in fact, to avoid the contact, but Haynes feeling slightly hard done by. Pukalski stops up. Shot deflected right side. No. Orlos thought about it, faked it, and now 3-on-1 rush. 3-on-1 rush. Harry Gallen has Donison. Donison stays onside. Gallen drops it. Mikisa doesn't control the rebound. No one is quite there to pick up in time. Now Pukowski coming back the other way. Flips just a saucy little backhand into the centre, right into the slot. No one quite on the end of it to meet. Bogdan takes a slap shot, but nothing doing. And now Wiseman once again working that defensive energy. Seriously good hustle. Now Gallen sprung free, 1-on-2. Bogdan sidling him away. Mikisa not too troubled by the long-range wrister. Seven minutes, 53 seconds left to play. 3-1 down. I think it's fair to say those of us scouring the team sheets, those of us looking at the matchups ahead of time, the Oxford Vikings have put up a very good showing on what is a short bench team. And we get the feeling the Narwhals would quite like a couple more on the board. It's been a strong performance, both ends of the ice, but it is so far pretty obvious that the Narwhals are dominating this particular exchange. Dan McConnell sends one in. Has Eles hunting around, scavenging at the net front. Now Orban immediately set about by three of the Oxford men. Puck bouncing up in the air, and there we have a penalty called. Hooking. I think this is going to be Julius Wiseman. Maybe a little over-exuberant then on some of that three-man chase down. It looked good. It looked decisive at the very least, which is what we said we needed to see from these Oxford lads. Unfortunately, a little bit too decisive. And that one will have him sat in the box for 2 minutes. Oxford then on the penalty kill. That one just a bit of a soft giveaway, or maybe collected there by Ryan McGinley, pushed up top to Lukas Slasarczyk, sorry. Mikisa turns that one away, or actually just holds it. He's just playing with his food, really, is Yara Mikisa. Likes some of the energy, the drama. Norgren has a racing McGinley rushing to meet him. McGinley tries to play it, opts to play it safe, rather. Moving the puck. That one held up in front on the long-range shot from Kolavsky. And that one will break containment. Kolavsky going back to catch it. Jack Haynes not putting too much pressure on him. McGinley with a slightly lackadaisical giveaway. Just backheeled it straight to Sean Harrington. Although Harrington, unfortunately, not able to do all that much with it. Slid across. Kolavsky. Brill back on the ice, calling. Norgren has space. Shoots into the feet of Harvey Wilson. Brill racing against Wilson. Wilson still on his feet. Norgren working down low in the corner. Out to Brill. The Narwhals already getting set up. Brill looking to make his way to the net. No, staying in the high slot. High slot, snaps away. Oh! Simply sensational pace. Unfortunately, the targeting hadn't quite found its mark. But that could have been an absolute bar-down barn burner. And that is not to say that all is said and done. There's some argy-bargy. Pukowski, shot from Roswalda, and it's Jurasko! And there seems to be a fiasco on the other side of it. Pukowski and McGlynn getting mixed up, somewhat taking the heat out of the moment, and Jurasko saying, hey, simmer down. I think we're going to be joined in the box here by Pukowski, not quite sure. I think he will be guided. There seems to be some extracurriculars. I'm not quite sure if this was something to do with the defensive pushing and shoving off to the side of the post. Kevin McGlynn also making his way out. Wiseman seems to have left the box. So the captain's being called over for a chat now. As His lead referee Dunn just giving them some explainers of what's going on. Both of them seem to be taking it in stride, taking it well. But McGlynn and Pukowski then out of action on offsetting minors. Wiseman seems to have escaped the box. Whether or not he was supposed to, I'm not quite sure if this is a jailbreak. Just listening in now.
8, 16.
So 8 from 16 on the goal. We'll get those numbers to you. So coincidental offsetting minors for roughing. I don't think that it was in fact 8 on the clock.
Roughing 2 minutes.
So Wiseman, I think, is coming back then. Made his... No? Of course, he's now out because of the goal. So we've had that goal. That's the penalty getting cancelled there. And we are all squared up on the scoreboard. 2 minutes offsetting minors then for roughing McGlynn and Pukowski. Thanks for bearing with us, folks, as we just work through some of those technical difficulties. So 5 on 5. Still to go. 4-1 now the score, and you rather think that might be the way the game has gone. As Orban winds up a fake shot, doesn't end up launching it. It's muscled off the puck eventually after 3 or 4 members of the Oxford Vikings stepping to assist. That shot rifled wide as Donison now stepping into the fray. Oh, absolutely undressing Roswada there. Not sure he even expected it to, as Donison's gone down. And now Donison getting involved in some rough stuff. And I think just getting a bit of a face wash from Orlos there. I think just getting wrapped up after the play, and I suspect we shall have some more visitors joining the box in very short order. Donison with a lovely move to get round the defenseman, and then went crashing into the boards. Not sure if he took some extra contact. The video might be slightly clearer. I think that's going to be Orlos joining the box. Joining Pukowski in the box. And it is Artur Orlos in the box as well. Just waiting for the call. Urasco, Captain Urasco, getting a bit of a chat from the ref, saying, we've just had the previous incident. Let's calm this down now, lads.
As we're just waiting for the final verdict on what exactly is the call. If it's a roughing, interference, I suspect not a boarding. But could be. Didn't quite see the action. One of the stanchions blocking my view there, so apologies, folks. 2 minutes for roughing is the call. So, 5 on 4. We still have those offsetting minors from Pukowski and McGlynn. So, the Oxford Vikings playing the man advantage. That's one warning to the Narwhals on the face-off. Face-off won by the Vikings. Although unable to control it is Captain Ulik. Terentchev drops it back, and Ulik read that like a book, streaking back the other way, then runs straight into the waiting arms of Slosarczyk. And now the Narwhals are going to be looking to come the other way with a vengeance. Terentchev off to the races once more, has Wiseman in front. No help, way, way back. That one high and wide of the glove side. Puck bouncing out of the zone once more. Sean Harrington able to stop up that attempt. That one again going high as Slosarczyk fires from centre ice pretty much. Fed ahead then for Harry Gallen. Harry Gallen, the man making it happen. And glove down on that high hashes attempt. So as a reminder, neither McGlynn nor Pukowski can come out of the box before 3:21 left on the clock. and they won't be allowed out until the next whistle after that, failing any goals being scored. But now, Riol winding up. Just a joy to watch him skate. Has to slow down slightly. The pass from Terenchev, not perhaps where he would have liked it to be, but no strain. Has Lazarchik floating in the middle. Has Kolavsky up at the top. Kolavsky sends one wide. Terenchev racing forward, is chipped ahead by Donison. Jack Haynes now. Has Levesque. Jack Haynes goes over the top of the net. Tate Levesque. Not quite sure what happened there, but that is both McGlynn and Pokalski out of the box. Their coincidental offsetting minors have been served. So we're just down to Orlos, number 12 for the Narwhals in the box. And McGlynn shimmying around to the music. Good to see there's still some good energy left after the end of what has been a fast-paced game. A good showing on both sides. But again, I think some of the experience there from the Narwhals, the physicality and the sheer numbers. You look at the bench, you look at those benches, one of them a lot healthier than the other. The chance to work hard, get a rest. Oxford not really having the off switch they need. Swept through by McGinley. And it's Matthias Norgren chasing in. Haynes trying to break that up, but McGinley throws a spanner in the works. Norgren again chasing in. Wilson from McGlynn. Wilson staying on his feet. McGlynn back again. Norgren chasing in deep. Wilson now, chance to break out. Flips ahead for Donison. Donison plays that on, just getting past Rozwoda. As Orlos is now back in the action. As there's Josh Ho banging a stick to say, hey, back to 5-on-5. Wake it up, fellas. Pass pushed on. McGinley up against Donison and Wilson. Wilson switches to backwards. McGinley streaking in. Oh, and it's in on the short side. Pops the water bottle on the rebound. McGinley, the hero in 2024. Must have had at least 3 goals, if not 4 then. Notches one on the board this time out. Ryan McGinley streaking in alone. Short side, high blocker. Josh Ho just can't get to it. (5-1), and I think, folks, at this point, the Narwhals have pretty successfully put this game to bed. 2 minutes left to play. Charlie Clark breaking in. Up against Von Nethusius. But Von Nethusius already moved that one in. Bogdan plays up. And that one is pretty much going, gone. No, actually held in. Oh, and some really nice dancing from Wiseman. Stays on his feet as well. Impeccable moves. As Gabor Orban circles round. Dan McConnell racing in. Josh Ho gets sat on. Oh, I don't know about that. That was perhaps slightly unfortunate positioning there from Fulop Iles. Just couldn't keep a hold of his feet and then went over the top of Josh Ho. After he made the first save, made the second, couldn't quite juggle the puck. But that one will be blown dead. I think some pats on the back from both players there. No bad blood, no hard feelings. Just taking a tumble. A bit of chat both ways. Coming now into the closing stage of this game, if it wasn't closed already. 5-1 the score for the Narwhals. After a slow to start, but remarkably strong performance throughout. Just winding up the extra firepower there in the third period, really making the most of it. Haynes now, trying to find Ryder. Ryder, maybe one too many touches, but almost had it. Bureau, in. Needs some support. Throws it right to the front of the net, but Bogdan, a man of literature because that one was well read. The Narwhals not able to break their zone just yet. Still kept in at the line. Bogdan, though,
Once again on the back end. That's the backhand flip out. Bureau into the skates there of Fulop Iles. Coming back the other way, catches the Narwhals on a line change, but again, no forward pressure from Oxford to really capitalise. Iles once more going toe-to-toe. Ulick gets a shot away, but finding himself just wide of the mark. Backhanded out once more. Wiseman into the waiting arms of Pukalski, takes the hop. Oh, and Josh Ho says thank you very much. Trying to get cheeky, trying to get cute with it. As Pukalski tries to play the slow upstairs move, Josh Ho says, absolutely not in my house. Very, very well tracked. Stayed with it the whole way. And says, yeah, nah, thanks very much. The closing 20 seconds then. It has been an excellent contest. And the Narwhals might not yet be finished. Do they have one more in them as the last 10 seconds tick away? Riol not on the board. There's Roswada. Batted out of the air. Still low, still loose, still live. 3 seconds, 2, winding down. And that will be all she wrote. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2026 champions, the Cambridge Narwhals. A well-fought contest. Very well played on both sides. But the Narwhals just on an unstoppable march. Taking back what they see as rightfully theirs after the beating last year in Oxford. Maybe we are moving towards a more stable, back and forth winning. No more super streaks, no more dynasties. But right now, I think you can say they've done a very good job, the boys in red. They will be very happy with that performance indeed. And no shame for the Oxford lot. A valiant performance, short-staffed, not perhaps who they would have rostered normally, or missing rather a couple of their key players. And it's all smiles and handshakes at the end of the day. Josh Ho leading the charge, getting that respect. Outstanding goaltender. Makisa not quite able to keep the clean sheet, but all in all, I think he'll be pretty happy with that performance. A 5-1 win. And that, my friends, will be all she wrote for this year. Thank you again for joining us. Thank you for watching.